Before we reassemble the router assembly, we're going to install the new electrical box on the pivot bar. The electrical box mounts into two small threaded holes at this end. As I mentioned before, this machine has the double bevel butt router kit on it, so it already has the later bar with the two little holes in it. If your pivot bar does not have the two holes in it, it'll be necessary to change this bar to the later style. We'll use two small bolts just to install this bracket. 5/32 Allen wrench to tighten the two bolts. Next, you will need to take the electrical wire from the old electrical box and install it in the new electrical box. So we'll remove the cover from the new electrical box. Inside the electrical box you'll find three bare wires. A green one, which is the ground connection, a white one, which is the neutral connection, and the gray one, which is the hot lead to the mercury switch. The wire from the old electrical box also has three wires. The black, a white, and a green. The green wire will connect to the green wire. The white wire will connect to the white wire. The black wire will connect to the gray wire. I'm going to feed the wire through the strain relief and into the electrical box. So now we have the wire installed, the strain relief tightened, and the wires stripped. We can connect the three wires. I like to start with the ground wire. Connect the ground wire. Install a wire nut. Connect the white wires together. And we'll connect the black and the gray wires. So we can push the wires down into the electrical box. Bring the cover over, being careful not to pinch any of the wires under the cover. All right, that's installed. Now we can bring the major assembly over. Get it started in the holes there. We install the bolts at the back of the slide rods. Now if those are tight, we can reconnect the air line to the clamp valve. We completed the upgrade. Now we just need to put a bit in it and adjust it to cut the mortise size that we need. If you're using vacuum on the butt router, it's best to install this piece of plastic that's called the vacuum shroud. It will direct it more to being right around the bit. in the 5/32 wrench and a couple of 1024 bolts. The upgrade kit comes with 2 vacuum shrouds. This one is the 5/8 radius to fit the 1¼ cutter, which we're using on this router. This vacuum shroud is for the 1/2 diameter cutter for the 1/4 radius mortise. It fits in the same location. Now that we have the upgrade complete, the router plugged in, the air hooked up, and everything ready to go here, I got the bit installed. So now we'll need to actually cut some mortises and adjust the width of the mortise and the depth into the door to get the correct size for the hinges we need. So the first thing I'll do, I brought it down, I clamped it on, I'm going to turn the router on, and I'm going to cut at the top and the bottom of the hinge, and we'll see what our mortise looks like. So when we cut from side to side, we want the mortise that we cut to line up with the reference lines on the reference bar. And you can see this one's off about 3/8 of an inch on this side. And this one's off a good 1/4 inch or better on this side, from the edge of the mortise to the reference line. So to adjust that, this mortise needs to move over more. This is the adjustment bolt. We'll need to take this bolt and screw it in the amount that we're off down here. On this side, we'll need to move this side of the mortise to line up with the reference bar. We'll adjust this bolt, so we'll need to screw this bolt in the difference between where the mortise is and where the reference line is. So I've made some preliminary adjustments. And now the next thing to do is to cut the mortise again and see where the measurements are and adjust accordingly. So that's starting to look pretty good there. So next we would take a hinge and try it in the mortise and see how that fits. We set the hinge into the mortise, check to see if it moves side to side. Seems to fit pretty good. So you will adjust that for the fit that you prefer in your shop. The next thing to check is the back set from the edge of the door to the back of the mortise. Should be 1 1/8 inches. So let's check that. This bolt here will adjust how far we go back into the jamb, and we'll adjust that one next. So the distance from the back of the mortise to the edge of the jamb should be 1 1/8. It's approximately 1 1/16 right now, so we need to make that bolt shorter by about 1/16 of an inch. That'll be this bolt right here. And about 1/16. I'll lock the lock nut. We'll try it again. And we have 1 1/8 inches from the back of the mortise to the edge of the jamb. To adjust the depth of the router, we'll need to turn the adjustment ring here. This is the clamp that holds the router in place. So we can rotate the indicator ring around to 0 at the tab. We loosen the clamp ring and we can adjust it down or up a specific amount, and then tighten the clamp again.